In this video, I'm going to be talking about having a roommate in college. This can be a big change for some, and it can be very beneficial because oftentimes people will become friends with their roommates, and there are other times where there can be conflict and difficulties that arise that people must work through. And so with those who have an intellectual disability attending college, there can be challenges with just interacting with the roommate and figuring out the best way to communicate and to effectively express the needs that you have. And so I wanted to talk about some of the different skills that may be needed and are important from an occupational therapy perspective when it comes to being successful in living with a roommate in a dorm, and also some ways that you would be able to prepare to be in this situation and even before you come to college. That way the transition can be a little bit smoother. So first, looking at the occupational therapy practice framework, it outlines some of the social interaction skills that are important that occupational therapists may analyze with an individual. So the first one is approaches or starts, which meaning you initiate the conversation and you're able to interact with the social partner in a way that is socially appropriate. And so, for example, this could be initiating a conversation with a roommate to discuss how you are going to keep the dorm clean, or if there is some kind of issue with your sleep schedules, or the environment of the dorm room is not conducive to your sensory needs or your ability to participate in your academics or homework. Then the individual must be able to have the skills to initiate the conversation appropriately and efficiently. In order to carry out a conversation that is productive, it is important also to be able to question the roommate, to have the ability to ask questions and to listen to the answers. It is good to be able to reply to the person and to express emotions in a way that is appropriate and valid to the situation. It is also important to be able to transition from conversations and be able to respond to the roommate in a timely manner so that things can be resolved as needed. Some additional social interaction skills from the framework that are important could be clarifying, like responding to gestures or verbal messages from the social partner. Also acknowledging and encouraging the individual, so just being able to empathize with them and understand where they're coming from, to be encouraging to one another to maintain a good relationship with the roommate is important. In the environment of the dorm room, a student may have to sometimes bring up conversations like their sleep schedule or their ability to carry out a cleaning schedule with the roommate. And so these may be some new tasks that the student hasn't been able to experience in the past. And sometimes I think about with some individuals, if they have specific sensory needs, if maybe they need to have a quiet room to be able to regulate themselves or to just be able to complete their academic work, then they may have to have a conversation with the roommate about this need in a way that makes sense. If the roommate is too loud, or maybe they play loud music, it just depends on the situation, but individuals with disabilities or different needs and processing may need a specific environment to help them be more successful and functional in the things that are meaningful to them. So occupational therapists often will consider the environment and various factors that affect the student. Other factors that occupational therapists can look at as well are some of the personal factors of the individual. So we could look at the culture, the social background, the upbringing and life experiences of the student, and potentially any habits or routines and roles that they have. These all can play a role in how things may work out when a student has a roommate for the first time, and these are factors that we can consider when presenting with interventions and different ideas and strategies to help the student to be successful in this area. One approach to intervention with occupational therapy is to create or promote. So in this case, we could create or promote different opportunities for the student to gain skills like living with somebody new in a new environment by first having them maybe stay at an extended family member's house or a friend's house. That is a different environment from where they currently stay, which could be with parents or siblings or guardians. So slowly changing the environment and helping them to get used to a new situation can be a good stepping stone in order to then branch off into staying with a roommate who is a new person in a totally new environment. Ultimately, the goal of occupational therapy intervention with any client is to promote different outcomes. So in this case, we want to promote participation in living with a roommate. We also would want to bring maybe improvement or enhancement in different skills related to social interaction and the ability to communicate needs and work through conflict. There can also be just a general well-being and enjoying the environment that they are in. That could be also an outcome of intervention. And overall quality of life. As college brings lots of opportunities, these opportunities are great for individuals that have disabilities or do not have disabilities. And so allowing everyone to be able to join in and have the opportunity to experience things related to college, such as having a roommate, can just promote the quality of life of those who may have disabilities. And if there's not necessarily an awareness of these opportunities, it can be good to include individuals so that their quality of life will improve. So to conclude this video, I just wanted to encourage students who may be pursuing college and thinking about living with a roommate, and just that it can sometimes be challenging. I just want to encourage you that occupational therapy can have a role in helping those to work through situations that they want to be able to participate in, and considering the different factors specific to you and your environment and how things can be adjusted. I also want to encourage you just to think about the different ways while you're in high school, if you are still a high schooler pursuing this college route, that you can think about different ways to interact with people more and build some of those skills. It could be just the suggestions like the role-playing different situations or how you may handle them, or it could be just interacting with new people, maybe joining clubs or doing something in the community. And it could be, again, just staying at like a family or friend's house for a new environment, seeing how it goes, and just taking one day at a time, knowing that there are many factors involved, but I encourage you that you can just take one situation at a time. And having a roommate is a really amazing experience. It's great to be able to connect with somebody new and to have that friendship and have somebody to be with you by your side during the process of college. So while I did focus a lot on the different things that could be challenging and the skills that are needed to develop a good relationship with a roommate, it can also be very rewarding. And so I hope that you can be encouraged and excited for the opportunities that are coming to you for college.